Welcome back to B&B Movie Reviews. This week, Super Mario World expands to the galaxy, and the drama explores if we really need to know everything about our partner.
We travel to the vineyards of Tuscany for a little romance, and Bob Odenkirk is a sheriff of a not-so-normal town. Stay right there. B&B is coming up next.
What's up, Mario? Behold! I made a masterpiece for Princess Peach. What do you think?
Love the colors!
It's trash.
How dare you look at my masterpiece and say that!
I'll burn the skin off your bones!
Wow. Sorry about that. That's the old Bowser talking. Still working through my demons, I suppose. Anyway, I need my 8 hours or else I really turn into a monster.
A rehabilitated mini Bowser is still learning to control his anger when Mario tests his patience in the new animated hit sequel, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Brad, all right, coming back to the Super Mario world, we're now in the galaxy. The hit first film. Yeah, we got a sequel that's making gangbusters at the box office. People are loving it, man. Yeah, they're loving this movie. Yeah. Super Mario World, man. Yeah. What's your history with Nintendo?
Look, I'm a Nintendo kid. I'm an 80s kid, right? I remember the day we got the NES. I remember Duck Hunt. I remember the Power Pad, the Power Glove. Remember the movie The Wizard?
Oh, dude, with Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Oh, yeah, I love The Wizard.
And that's how they premiered Super Mario Brothers 3. And I remember going to Target, maybe it was Kmart, and running to the video game aisle so I could get my frickin' Super Mario Brothers 3 cartridge. I loved those games. I loved these characters. I was extremely excited for the first film. Did I like the first film? It was okay.
I liked that first movie. It was charming. I found there was something charming that I did like about that first movie, even though it did feel a little stale, a little hollow at times. But I did like the story. I thought there was something interesting with the character of Bowser. I thought Jack Black was really fun as Bowser and his obsession with Princess Peach.
The Peaches song is really good.
Yeah.
Where was that in this film?
Dude, that's what I was looking at. I mean, we opened this movie with kind of like this kind of action sequence with Princess Rosalina, which a character I'm not familiar with.
Brie Larson voices.
Brie Larson, yeah. And then once she gets captured, it feels like we're kind of going through like the game. It's like, okay, Mario has to rescue the princess. But to me, this movie just feels like it's just a sequence of events. There's no real like narrative story here.
Illumination does make pretty looking films. Super Mario Galaxy looks incredible.
It looks amazing.
If you go into it, you shut the volume off and you just look at this thing, it's awesome looking. Yeah. And all the references are there.
Yeah.
Why'd they have to spoil Star Fox in the trailer? I don't know. That would have been a great reveal. I would have been so excited to see Star Fox. It takes me back to being that kid running for my Super Mario Bros. 3 cartridge, watching The Wizard, right?
Yeah.
It tingles all those senses.
Yeah.
It's so dull, though, ultimately.
It is.
And we have experienced so many movies that take an IP, the Lego movie, Barbie.
Yeah.
And guess what? They have a theme. They have a message. They have character. They have story. That is absent in this film.
Absent, yeah.
Even more so than the original Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I will agree. I'll agree with that because I did, like I said, I liked the first movie, and I think there is some semblance of a story that could have been told.
There is a plot here.
Yeah, there's a plot, but there's no story, there's no character arcs. I mean, I'll argue and say that this movie being called Super Mario Galaxy World, and Mario is the least interesting character in this whole movie.
But then there's nothing to even fill those gaps. Like, Bowser had some, charm and humor, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even know that Jack Black was voicing this character, right? No. And then Benny Safdie comes in to voice Bowser Jr., and there's like no real connection there between those characters either.
But I think that's probably, you're right, but I think that's where I wanted to go as far as like story-wise, because I think the Bowser storyline, there was something there that they could have mined from, with him being rehabilitated and trying to do good, and his son and how he so I think there's something there, but
like,
they don't.
There's artists who work in negative space, and how you look at a painting that's accentuating negative space and you go like, oh, look, what's not there is what's there. And I feel like when you're watching Super Mario Brothers Galaxy, you're watching a negative space movie. You go like, oh, in the blank spaces, I see what could have been.
Yeah.
And that's kind of entertaining. It's a nice brain teaser for me.
Yeah, and it keeps you engaged in the movie in a way that the movie can't actually keep you engaged.
It's really unfortunate. That being said, it did make $1 bajillion.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people who really liked it. If you look at the disparity between like the Rotten Tomato score and the audience score, it's a huge deficit. And I think you have to respect the audience score.
Yeah.
The movie delivered to a lot of people what they wanted.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Is it my cup of tea? No.
No, not at all. And I agree. I think if you're a Nintendo fan, if you're a Super Mario fan, this is really going to hit the mark for you. But as a movie, as a storytelling narrative, it falls apart. It just doesn't work.
It's just empty.
Very empty and boring. Ultimately, it's boring. So yeah, what's your rating for this?
We're the B&B show, right?
Yes.
If we love something, we give it a B+. If we don't love something, we give it a B-. I did not love Super Mario Brothers Galaxy. I got to go with a B-.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. This is a B- for me. Again, I think Nintendo fans, Mario fans will love this movie, but if you're looking for something more, it's not going to give you what you want or what you need out of it. So yeah, this is a B- easily for
Super
me.
Smash Brothers sequel?
Possibly. Am I excited for it? No.
I don't know. I'll still go see it.
Same. I'll see it too. Yeah. All right, so those are our thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Let's get that right. All right, when we come back, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya have some friction when they learn more about their relationship. Stay right there.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
So I want to say this thing about her laugh. Do you know how it's kind of like, it's very cute, but it's also kind of like...
Repulsive even.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if she laughs, then I can point it out and be like, and there it is. You know? I did. I said, if everyone knows he's a piece of shit, then why are we doing a retrospective in the first place? It's like, it's so incredibly irresponsible. No one ever cares until it's too late. And then it always ends up backfiring on me. Emma, I'm being serious. It's not funny.
No, I agree with you. This is not funny at all.
Charlie is workshopping his speech to Emma, highlighting the things he adores about her, like her laugh. But does Charlie know everything about Emma? Spoilers, he does not. In the A24 dark comedy, The Drama. Bryan, we cannot spoil this film.
No, not at all. I know it's been out for a couple of weeks, but I still don't want to. And I've been surprised that nobody has really spoiled this movie up until this point from stuff that I've seen.
It's like The Sixth Sense. Like when everyone went to see The Sixth Sense and Gene Siskel went out and he was like, guys, don't tell people the secret. No. I feel that way about The Drama.
Yeah.
People, don't spoil the secret of this movie. So that makes it challenging to talk about
a little bit,
what this film is about.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a twist.
Yeah.
Something is said by a character that alters everything.
That alters, how people see her. And how it affects their relationship.
Yeah, I think what's so fantastic about this movie is once you hear what is said during a dinner conversation, you yourself start going, oh, well, how do I feel?
How do you feel?
How would I act in this situation? Who's right? Who's wrong? And then through the entire course of the movie, I'm shifting back and forth. Like I'm going through the journey that Robert Pattinson's character is going through.
Yeah.
I am Charlie in The Drama.
And that's the interesting thing that I love about this movie is the fact that it really does play both sides, where you can put yourself in the POV of Zendaya's character and Robert Pattinson's character as well when this revelation of the secret comes out. Because when you look at both sides of it, it's like, okay, I understand where Charlie is coming from when you learn something about your partner that you think you know everything about them,
Right.
and then this comes out that makes you color
Right.
their whole personality and their whole attitude and who they are as a person. But from Zendaya's point of view, also know like, okay, if I have this secret, but this is not who I am as a person, and you need to just kind of look at me for who I am now. I could see both sides of that.
That cliche idea of like you're more than your worst day, right?
Yeah.
And then this film challenges that idea, right?
Yeah.
So when you went into this movie, and you saw it at a press screening.
Yeah.
I missed the press screening. I went to see it with the public, and the public turned out to be just
Just
me.
you.
No one else was in the theater. I had the whole place to myself, and I got to be very audible while watching it.
There you go.
What? Huh? What? When you went to see this film with that press screening,
Yeah.
you knew there was a twist.
Yeah, I knew something was coming.
You knew something was said, right?
Yes.
So when that thing was said,
Yeah.
were you still surprised by what that thing is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was. Like going to your point, I was Robert Pattinson, I was Alana Hamm, I was Mamadou Athie, I was all three of them in that moment. I was like, oh. Going to that point, it's like, yeah, it puts you in that perspective where it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. Oh, this is the type of movie this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is big topics.
Yeah, this is okay. Now we're getting into like some real like heavy topical stuff now.
Yeah. The style of the film is really interesting. The editing of this movie is really interesting,
Yeah.
right? Because you have sequences within sequences, and sometimes they're imagined, sometimes they're not imagined.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a puzzle. It keeps you on your toes as you're watching this film of like, okay, is what's on the screen right now
Yeah.
the story?
Yeah, or is it something that's in their head? It's very stream of conscious in that way, and I like that. But even before the reveal, the editing kind of sets you up for that, where it's kind of jumping back and forth between, because like you had mentioned coming into the segment, he's trying to write his speech to Emma, and it's going back and forth to like the beginning of their relationship. You see how they
you
first
travel
met.
to the timeline of the speech.
Yes, exactly. And then once he kind of learns this revelation, then we kind of get into this kind of stream of consciousness type of editing where we're getting into Charlie's thoughts, we're kind of getting into Emma thoughts a little bit in the way that the movie is
because
edited.
like this bomb is dropped, and then we have to see how Zendaya is going to interpret what Charlie might be up to when he's out of the room.
Yeah.
You know, and so you get all these like extreme things that Charlie could do, and then vice versa. I don't know.
I know. This is a movie that I think it opens itself up to some great discourse and great conversations, but it's also a movie that you definitely want to have a spoiler conversation with this, because I think once you can have more of an open discussion about what the secret is, then I think you can kind of have a deeper conversation about this. It's kind of hard because we're tiptoeing around a lot of it, but I think it's a movie that's definitely worth watching.
It's worth watching, and the most exciting thing about it is how the film continues after it ends. Because you take your experience watching this movie into your conversations. Right? Like, you know, I had breakfast with my dad today. I have a question for him.
Okay.
Lisa went to see it without me.
Yeah.
So we had a conversation about it. Like, I'll be talking about the drama probably for the rest of the year.
Yeah. It's one of those very topical movies, if that's not too much of a spoiler. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. What's your rating? What's your rating for this?
I really, really enjoyed it. I'm still grappling with the climax of the movie, how it resolves itself. I think I am satisfied with it, but I'm definitely satisfied with the entire experience. It's a B+. I think you need to see it sooner rather than later.
Yes.
You don't want to be spoiled on this one.
No. Part of the enjoyment is the right word. Is
I think it's the right word.
Yeah, the enjoyment of it is
squirmy.
It's very squirmy. Is the revelation of that secret, and then how you take that in and then you kind of wrestling with your own thoughts about that.
I think it would be bad if you went into this movie knowing what the secret was and you were already thinking about your answers to it.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, it's all about watching the film after that moment and trying to answer questions alongside Robert Pattinson's character and Zendaya's character.
Yeah, and hopefully you don't crash out the way that Charlie did. All right, so those are our thoughts on the drama. When we come back, you, me, and Tuscany take a trip to the Italian Riviera. Riviera? Is that right? No, that's probably wrong. We'll be right back.
After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Don't you have a girlfriend or something, Mr. Handsome winemaker in Tuscany?
Most of the men here are handsome winemakers.
Oh.
I'm unlucky in love. Probably end up alone.
Why's that?
Always fall for the wrong girl.
After a day under the Tuscan sun, Anna starts to fall for the brother of the man she's posing to be engaged to in the romantic comedy, You, Me, and Tuscany. All right, Brad, romantic comedies. Now, I have to say this, I'm not the biggest fan of that genre.
I didn't realize they still made them.
I know, right? Yeah, that came out theatrically. Yeah, you know, outside of
this
anything
isn't
that's
Peacock
streaming.
streaming?
No. Sometimes it feels like it probably fits that a little better, but, you know, I mean, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of romantic comedies. One of my favorite romantic comedies, and I've said this before I even saw this movie, and I've always said this, is one from the 90s, 95, was
The Silence of the Lambs.
no, it's While You Were Sleeping with Bill Pullman and Sandra Bullock.
It's a good one.
And this movie kind of has a similar story with a different backdrop. So I was kind of primed for this, you know, with that movie kind of being one of my personal favorite romantic comedies, and this movie kind of following that kind of same narrative beats of that movie. I was like, oh, this is kind of charming. And I like the leads. I thought Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page, if I'm saying his name correctly. I thought they were really good
I think
together.
they have great chemistry. I think the acting is solid all around. Even like the broader performances from the Italian family. Like, I like this mode. This movie is almost a musical, Brian. If they broke out into song, I think I would have loved You, Me, and Tuscany. Like, that's the level of like melodrama and performance that we're dealing with here. Like, it's rom-com performance heightened even more, with a very silly setup of, you know, a lot of manipulation happening to bring these characters together. I like that Halle Bailey is, Holly Bailey, you know, a complicated person. Right?
Yeah. She kind of has this whole kind of poser thing, which they kind of set up in the beginning in the very first scene.
Like her morality is like a little in question, right? Like there's a little electricity to the decisions that she's making, and I like that. And I like how they set her up. And she's at a low point in her life, and then she meets this handsome Italian man in a bar in New York City, and they strike up a nice conversation. Things heat up. He has jet lag, he falls asleep. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. What's happening there? But anyway, he has to fall asleep. And then she uses that as a way to get herself to Italy, blah, 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 blah. A, B, C, EFG.
I mean, the forward momentum to get her to the...
And then there's this cabbie character who drives a coochie. What? All right.
I actually like that running joke. It wasn't good, but...
All right. But that is one magical character. She meets him at the bus stop, and then he...
Usually, like, those side characters that have those very broad performances like that, they feel like, well, they are caricatures. But for whatever reason, I liked it. Maybe because it fit the setting.
I enjoyed it, and it fit the tone, right? Like,
yes.
So, like,
yeah.
But so much of this movie, Brian, is done through ADR, additional dialogue recording. There are these sequences where they're in the car and so much plot and character is being told while the camera is nowhere near the mouths of these characters. And like that ADR, which seems to come not from the source in the frame, it comes from beyond. It just feels so uncomfortable to me and cringy.
Does it like detached?
Yeah, it feels detached. It feels detached from the thing I'm watching. It's like audio commentary. Like there's so much ADR going on in this movie. And I think one of the problems is when I pick up on something like that, I then like narrow my focus into that aspect alone. And then I just stop and I'm pulled out of the movie and I just look at every ADR sequence. And it was driving me crazy watching Yumi and Tuscany.
It's interesting because I didn't pick up on that, and I don't know even if I did pick up on the ADR, because the ADR can be distracting, but the fact that I wasn't able to really pick up on that, it didn't really like deter my enjoyment of the film. And again, it's not, like I said, I mean, I can't really argue that point, because I'm thinking about the movie now and I can't really pick up where they might have done ADR that probably would have distracted me from.
Scene, Bryan.
I know, but I do know that there were a lot of wide shots of the vistas of the vineyards and stuff like that.
Even the shots of New York City are gorgeous in this film.
Yeah, they really are. I don't know. I think I really just kind of got swept up in the chemistry. I thought that Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page had really good chemistry, and I really kind of got swept up in that. I think that once she kind of gets outed, and I guess this is kind of like you can't really escape the trappings of a romantic comedy and the tropes and the conventions of that. But I think once she kind of gets outed, they kind of, what am I trying to say? It's like they let her off the hook a little too easily.
This family, very forgiving.
Very, very forgiving, yeah. They let her off the hook a little too easily.
When Nana comes to the bus stop, give me a break.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay. It's
but she's a great chef, right? She makes them grits.
Yeah.
And those did look like delicious shrimp and grits.
They did look good. They did look
good. Good food porn in this movie.
It is. What's your rating for this one?
Man, it depends on how...
What day of the week?
Well, yeah. I came out of this feeling it was a little too cringe for me.
Okay.
I want a little bit more from my romantic comedy. I think the chemistry is strong, but it's a B- for me, Bryan. I'm sorry.
No. I'm on the opposite side of it. I mean, again, this is not a genre that I really gravitate towards, even though this does have a plot line that's very similar to one of my favorite romantic comedies. Like I said, I felt like I was a little more primed for it, and I do like the cast, and I like the chemistry between the two, and that kind of carried me through. And again, like I said, Italy is one of my dream vacation spots, and so seeing that backdrop of Tuscany, I was in love with it. So it's a B+ for me. I really enjoyed the movie.
I hope you get your Diane Lane vacation.
I hope so. I hope I get it soon. All right, so those are our thoughts on You, Me, and Tuscany. When we return, Bob Odenkirk, he's not a nobody. He's a sheriff in a small town. We'll stay right there. We'll have that review coming up.
Going to cheerleading camp next to the abandoned insane asylum, it's like throwing the blood away.
50% of Americans like watching blood get spilled in horror movies, but only 3% donated.
Now that's scary.
Hey! Like the way you law, man.
Life in Normal is quiet, peaceful, predictable. Until it isn't.
Why are they shooting at you?
I'm at a loss.
Jesus.
That's not where I was aiming.
Bob Odenkirk has a seemingly simple, idyllic life until trouble comes to the town of Normal in the new action film, Normal. Bryan.
Yeah.
Directed by Ben Wheatley.
I know you're a big fan.
I'm a huge fan of Ben Wheatley. Yes, he made The Meg 2, which I think is the only other Ben Wheatley movie you have seen.
That and Free Fire.
Okay, Free Fire.
I've seen Free Fire.
All right.
Yeah.
Those are not my favorite Ben Wheatley movies.
Yeah.
You really need to watch Kill List. You
Okay.
really need to watch High Rise. And you really, really need to watch A Field in England.
I know you're big on that one.
I love that movie. It's not at all like Normal. Normal is the movie I thought Nobody 2 was going to be.
I agree. I was really looking forward to Nobody 2 because of the director, Timo Giganto. But this movie really kind of gave me everything that I really kind of wanted out of Nobody 2, going to your point. And I love like kind of the setup of this movie, because even with the trailer, it's like, okay, yeah, you go to kind of like this really kind of quaint, small, idyllic kind of town that just seems like they have a simple life.
Yeah.
You know, like very Midwestern type of towns that you see
But
all
Bryan,
throughout the country.
Bryan, before you go any further, don't spoil it. I think we got to treat this like the drama, right?
Okay.
Because yes, it's an action film. I think that's all you need to know about it.
Okay.
But I don't want people to know
Okay.
what is going on in the plot of Normal, because I didn't know, and the turn that this movie takes, I really enjoyed.
I did too.
And I think it created a very engaging action film.
It
Maybe
did.
the most engaging classic 90s, 80s action film we've had in the last decade.
Yeah, so I guess let's talk more about, I guess, structure and tone. Going to your point about 90s action movies, watching this movie, I really felt that you could see Ben Wheatley's inspirations and his influences on screen here. And this really kind of, watching this movie, it made me feel like I was watching some of those old kind of like low budget, mid budget movies from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like I hate to throw out this reference, but like a Hard Rain.
Yeah, Hard Rain. I mean, I would even say like Cynthia Rothrock movies. You know, like Hard Target. Like there's a lot of John Woo in this film too.
Yeah.
And why I really love Normal is that when things do pop off, and it's action movie time, and the movie takes quite a bit of its screenplay to build all the characters of Normal. You know, the little old lady at the needle and thread shop. You know, there's the ice cream man, the mailman, the hardware store, the barkeep, the mayor, the deputies, the kid of the deceased sheriff. Like it's establishing not only character but geography.
Going to your point, the fact that this movie is really just 90 minutes, with the economy of time, it's like for a 90-minute movie to use basically the first act of your movie to establish the other locals in the town, to establish the geography. Like it doesn't try to rush to get to the big action
because
sequences.
it knows that those quiet moments, those character moments, are going to pay off super strong when shotguns are involved.
Yes, exactly. So I love the structure of that.
And Bob Odenkirk is so good in this type of character. I mean, it's a similar character to what he's playing in Nobody and Nobody 2.
Yeah.
But like the plot is, Bob Odenkirk is an interim sheriff.
Yeah.
He goes to towns that need him. Like when a sheriff goes on maternity leave or if a sheriff passes away, he comes in until the next election can happen. So he's just filling shoes for a small moment in time. And he comes to this town and something's off about it.
Which is a great setup because, that puts him in that position where he's just like, yo, like WTF, like what am I getting myself into?
Yeah. And then, like, who he then has to rely on throughout the rest of the movie, really surprising.
Yeah.
Now, I think there are some budgetary constraints to Normal.
Yeah.
It's a little shaggy.
Yeah.
There are bits that don't ultimately work, but the whole is so enjoyable that I didn't mind that shagginess.
No, not at all. Not at all. Especially like the third act is kind of misses the mark a little bit. But again, looking at the overall experience of it, I just highly enjoyed it.
Which is not unlike an 80s or 90s action
Very
film.
true. What's your rating for this one?
Big B+.
Yeah, this is a B+ for me. This is out, I think, now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go check it out. If you're a fan of old school action movies, like this will be right up your alley.
See it with a crowd.
Oh God, yeah, this would be a lot of fun. So, all right, so those are our thoughts on Normal. normal.
Bad title.
Yeah, the title is
Bad
not.
title.
The title is not great. The B+ for both of us. So let's go back and recap what we talked about on this episode. Super Mario Galaxy, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. That was a B- for both of us. We move over to the drama. That's a B+ for me and Brad. Then You, Me, and Tuscany. We split on that movie. Brad gave that a B-. I gave that one a B+. And then Normal, the new action movie starring Bob Odenkirk. That is a B+ for both of us. All right, so thank you for joining us on this latest episode of B&B Movie Reviews. Come be a part of the conversation. If you have questions, suggestions, feel free to email us at bnbmoviereviews@gmail.com. And with that, we'll see you at the movies.